There we go.
No? No, I'm a poor student.
My microphone and Discord are good. Alright.
Yeah. Should I knock on you though?
Fuck, maybe.
Yeah, I can knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Do, 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 do. Is it? Alright, good, good. Good, good, good. Alright. Select world and character. Alright, let's see. So it was when I invited you. That was the
Huh?
problem. The problem was when I invited you.
That's weird. That
Work
wasn't a
display.
problem before though.
Right? I'm inviting you now in the game.
Yes. See?
Nothing is a problem right now.
I didn't get a real invite though. That's weird. I didn't get like a button to press.
Okay. Did you get that all the other times?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Very weird.
That was
Down
super
my
weird.
nose. Yo, up again, Doc Rate. Yes. He is on his way in again.
Sure, notify
I...
followers.
Ooh, there we go. I hear you double up.
Yeah, I turned it off. Do we have shared chat on, or?
It doesn't seem like we do. We should. Let's see.
What
Where
the
do we do
stream
that?
title? Millennial Gen Z. What up, Ansgar?
How
yeah,
do we do
since you were the one
chat?
who knocked, you should be able to.
There we go. Chat? No? That's just stream chat. Fuck, I don't know how to do these things.
It's in the little pop-out window.
Share chat. There we go.
Yeah.
Start sharing chat. There we go. Look at that.
I am live again, X Gamer. This is true.
Yay!
Yay! Alright, we got new missions. They're up for 18 hours. We gotta destroy 5 Seekers with a machine gun. Not necessarily an SMG.
Hi, Ansgars.
And runners with handguns. What up, Ansgars? Both on your streams, the other person's way louder than yourself. Really? Wait, I gotta change this then.
Yeah, we gotta fix that.
Yeah, because my microphone is as loud as it'll go. There's nothing else I can do here.
I think.
Oh, Ans is your very good friend. Gotcha.
I turned the Discord down a bit. My mic wasn't as loudest. I can do like that. Hello, Paradise.
Paradise.
So anyone watching my stream, is it better now with the like him being louder than me?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. Please give us continuous feedback on the sound quality.
Slightly to downloading, I mean updating all my stream games. Steam games.
Nice. You're updating all of your Steam
everybody.
games. Karoo!
I love Karoo. Hi, Karoo.
She's the best.
Are you doing Thirsty Thursday?
Yeah, is it Thirsty Thursday with Karoo today?
Because
then I know who we're raiding into later.
Me too.
Right?
Do I see the mic I use? Oh, this is a Del Taco mic. Del Taco. Hey, Del Taco. It was cheap, and it works great.
I have the same
Don't tell me I'm cheap, man. Don't tell me I'm cheap.
No, I wouldn't. I have the same exact mic. We have the same setup.
I thought you were starting to say you're cheap.
No. Apparently I don't have to say that. You just understand that instinctively.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Are you gonna invite me or not?
I thought I did.
No, I told you I didn't get the button for it.
I invite?
It doesn't work. Why?
I invite again.
Why is it saying that I haven't even launched the game? What the fuck? Wait, my game is fucking up.
And I got to say, that's what I appreciate about you.
That's what I appreciate about you, Paradise. I bought a mic filled with arm and so on for like $30. It works very well. I'm not complaining. Nice.
I love when stuff works the way it should. Oh wait, no, I pressed continue. No, I am not doing this. Back to main menu.
Yeah.
Full with an arm and so on for like $30. It works well, very well. I'm not complaining. Yeah, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's bad. God damn, I can't join you, man.
Should one of us restart the game? Should you restart yours first? Baby?
I'm restarting this time. Let's see.
Just resubbed and no notification? Really?
Oh yeah, it's just
there's no notification at all here for the resub either. But it might be that you have to like actively share it in chat. Usually there's like
there's usually a button you have to press like share.
Yeah. I think so at least. I don't know. I'm noticing my Twitch being a bitch while downloading the game. Oh my gosh. How is everyone, by the way? Hey, welcome. I don't know how long we're gonna stream for. I have a friend who's gonna go.
I hate these goddamn trains. They are so delayed and many are cancelled by
you
of accident.
How long we're gonna stream for?
Can you please give me more info, Scanner Traffic and OMG?
No, I don't.
have all the time in the world.
I have a bunch of time. The wife is not feeling well, so she's lying down and watching K-pop Demon Hunters for the 9th time, which I appreciate. No button. That's fucking annoying. Yeah, I haven't... Like, I can't see in my activity feed either.
Wife is the best and we love her.
Well, thanks for the resub, Paradise. I'll grab you a haiku while we're at it. Wife is the best and we love her. You just yell at me when you want another invite, bestie.
I would like another invite.
Wow, but you didn't yell it, so...
Thank for the thing. I was dancing because Panda was sending a blurb.
Did you receive the invite?
I just get it like Dr. Vem invited you to play, but no button. And on Steam, it says you're in OBS Studio first, and then Generation Zero.
Okay, wait. So it's my and then I'll restart the game.
Something is fucky at least.
Something is indeed fucky.
It's fucky.
Generation Zero. An error occurred. Game is still running. No, it's not. The fuck you on about? There we go. If I join, I will stream with no camera this time. OBS won't find my camera. Gotcha. Darn, man.
I love it how it always works so well when we try to play together, everyone. It's also smooth and easy. Love it. So nice. It's so nice.
Select world and character. World 4, character 4. Let's see.
Oop, shit.
Alright, I'm back in Minken. Multiplayer. Invite.
There we go!
It is work?
Goodness, yes, it worked.
It is working.
It was the OBS shit.
Nice.
Incoming!
Oh my gosh. 5 minutes left and I will join also. Awesome, good guy. The express trains that is not affected, so we'll get home at least. Nice, X-Gamer. Hate it when trains are fucked. But yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for, or play for right now, because I have a jogging round. Jogging round? I'm gonna go running with a friend later today.
Oh, we're right by Ulven. It's a Gen 2 holiday.
We are?
Yes,
oh yeah.
We are.
Oh, yeah, there's a side mission down there.
I love you, Panda.
Jogging,
Nothing
yeah.
beats a Gen 2 holiday.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Yeah.
Hinsevik Generator, Phoenix Power Generator. We could definitely go there and fuck shit up, I think.
It was one of those generators that I was at last time
Yeah.
with all the little shits.
Hello, this is Bestie.
Yes. Yes, hello. This is the doc, as per usual.
Inspect.
This is
companion.
one of our buddies. This is Doc's
Pretty.
Professor Techno Buddy. I
Professor
don't think
Techno Buddy.
Senorita is deployed right now.
No.
No, she's not.
Placed
I'll
on the ground and
get
used
her
as a
out
lure
later.
during other machines to its location across a wide area. Ooh.
Watch it derail. Yes. Yes.
No, no, don't watch it. No, nothing should
Oh.
derail. That would
We
be a
got
bad
stuff in the
idea.
bunker. We got shit in here with us.
Like fatties?
Yeah. Oh, you little shit.
Man.
We got runners.
That's annoying.
I have my trusty SMG, so we're good. Are you shooting?
Yeah.
Why? They're dead.
They're not dead for me.
What?
The ticks, 3 ticks were left. And they weren't
Oh.
dead.
Oh, I didn't
But
see
the
those.
runners are dead.
Good, good.
Okay.
We're all good. We're all
Okay.
good. Yarvan.
What is this
They
game
were
about?
called-
It's actually like one of my favorite games ever. It's in Sweden, but it's a fictional 80s Sweden where it's kind of like almost cyberpunky, but it's in
yeah,
the 80s.
it's very dystopian.
Yeah, because like we have robots and AI in the 80s in Sweden, and then all of a sudden all the robots start
Or
hunting
something like-
humans, and it looks like it's either Russia or China that has hacked it,
Techno
And-
buddy, don't push me.
and
No.
the fuck. And basically you're a survivor who's just trying to fuck off. All right, you know what, buddy? We're gonna pick you up.
Yeah. There's not enough room for him
Yeah,
to
no,
be
he just came rushing right into
walking
me.
around.
So
I
yeah,
am in a kitchen. Would you like some leftover? I think it's a sandwich. I'm not sure. Would you like a sandwich?
Nej, jag vill bara ha lingon.
Vill du bara ha lingon?
Love your vibes on
Men
stream. Would
herregud.
love to support his loyal fan. Add me on Discord.
That's mine. That's a bot. Could I have
Yeah.
a mod maybe take care of that? Maybe? I have some mods
Oh wait,
somewhere.
I am a mod.
Because every time I try to tab out of the game, my computer is so not
Burn.
happy.
Oh, nice. It's so easy to ban
Ta-da!
stuff as a moderator.
Yes, it is.
It's
It's very
beautiful.
nice. I was
But yeah,
just
I
about
can
to,
I can
yeah.
actually tab in and out. That's not.
I can't do that very easily. The whole game just goes down and then I have to pop it back up and no.
Oh my god, det är mellanmjölk.
Åh, det är inte mellanmjölk.
Jo, det står mellanmjölk här. Den här är
Gör det
lättmjölk.
det? Jag har vanlig mjölk.
Ja, alltså det, oh my god, det här är fullmjölk.
Oh, they're different ones.
Oh my god.
We
Oh,
got all the
milk.
different kind of milks.
Fixing my own shit so I can do it in time. That's all good. I mean, I can tab out of the game, so it's fine. I can moderate Bestie a little bit.
I need it.
You can help me out.
Did you go down the other way?
I don't know. Somehow I tuned out Doctor way too easily. Somehow. What do you mean tune out?
He is very easy to tune out. He
Wow.
really is.
That's so mean.
Why am I? Oh, I'm over encumbered. That's why I'm so fucking slow.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, what's going on? I don't get it. I gotta get back to the base because I am so encumbered, my dude.
Yeah, go. Run.
Here.
Yarr. I'm thinking of
Oh wait,
like getting rid of
huh?
some weapons, but I don't wanna either. Like I have 4 weapons on me. And like
yeah, I got.
the little
got
gun doesn't
5.
weigh anything, and it's good to have. My automatic rifle, assault rifle.
Man, I wanted to play this game, but back then, when I tried it,
think
the
I'm
needed to
gonna
create the account for the
get
game, but was so
some off
fucky, so I never
because
played it.
I don't need
Yeah.
4 rifles and 1 handgun. It's a bit much.
I have
It's
a
just
rifle, a
bit-
handgun, a sniper, and a rocket launcher.
I got
Also-
that too, and my SMG.
Also, X Gamer, I totally understand that you gave up on it. I got into it when, like, kind of around the release, and it was really laggy and fucky, especially multiplayer. But they've fixed a
Yeah.
lot of stuff now. Whoa, why is my stream lagging? Because my OBS says that it's lagging, but I'm not lagging anywhere else.
I got uggos up here.
You got Uggos? Where's
Yeah,
up
I got-
here?
Yeah, I got some uggos.
There you are. Is there a lag in the stream? No one wants to answer me, so I assume it's not. It is lagging like crazy now. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Is it lagging? Starts lagging. Raw.
Is
That
it lagging on my
very
stream?
interesting. Alright, if I kill this thing.
Seems like mine is lagging a lot
Right,
too.
mine is better after I killed killed something.
Do I have any lag? In chat, please give info.
The movement's not 100%
Not
smooth.
really, just like quick movements.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Panda. Then I ain't gonna do shit about it.
But my stream is fine now, I think. Right?
You think so?
I mean,
But
it looks
no, it
good on my
ain't, man.
OBS. I turned off my Chrome.
Let's see, what do I have? Oh, we don't need those. Sure.
The walls started glitching, right?
What the fuck is going on, man?
The light is glitching through the walls. That's so weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah, we didn't have these problems before.
No, we did not. Could it be that I am also... Because I'm also streaming?
Ah, doubt it.
We'll see.
Power station exit.
And now X Gamer, no,
No.
the good guy is on
The
his
good
way
guy.
in. Oh my god, I got a 5 krone scope.
What?
Yeah, I got
Seriously?
5 crowns on it.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Where'd you find it?
I don't know, man. I found it outside somewhere. I got a shotgun choke. Let's see. Let's get them out first. I think I'm gonna say bye-bye to my automatic rifle and keep my älgstudsare and submachine gun.
I love that älgstudsare is a real thing we call, like,
Yeah.
a gun, a specific gun of a high caliber we call älgstudsare, which literally translates to moose bouncer.
Yes, yes. It's a good moose bouncer, yes?
It's such a good word.
Much good moose bouncer, yes.
Seriously, X-Gamer, like, Swedish games, most Swedish games I've ever played, I'm like, holy shit, this might be one of the best games I've ever played. We are good at making games. The only issue it could be is to Doctor being the part leader so on his PC has to communicate with your PC. Okay. That might be true, yeah.
What? What?
That, like, I'm hosting the server and I'm streaming and you are streaming as well. And
Yep.
so all of that combined takes up a lot of my CPU. Basically.
Sucks to be you then.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Let's see. I want the object penetration vision on. Yes, let's penetrate something, shall we? Oh wait, let's use vision modules. What did I have on you? IR, right?
Wow.
I like
Take
that
my
one though.
service, for example, requires an extra 200 megabyte per person, roughly in a normal vanilla one. Dude. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say bye.
So it's gonna be even more fun now that good guy joins. You're gonna say bye bye to something?
Yeah, I'm gonna say bye bye to my automatic rifle. Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm gonna get it into the. It's good guy can have it when he joins us. So
Yeah. Can you try
it's
to
still
invite me
gonna be
just see if I
used.
can join instantly or if I need to play a little first? I think you should be able to join instantly. It's just I don't know if you can like run to our base immediately.
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't need to run. He should be able to use the fast travel.
Yeah? I invited you
Same we
now.
do. Otherwise,
Managed
we
to
will
do
just
some
go and
bullshit.
get him.
Yeah,
Maybe
we could, for sure.
we could.
I just invited you, good guy.
Good guy.
Let's see if that works. Wait, Helldivers is Swedish as well?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You
Need
did
to
not
play
know
a
this?
tiny bit. I did not know
That's
it.
that's why all the like the generals and stuff have Swedish names.
I've not even seen the generals' names.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Wow.
Ooh, nice.
I got 10 fireworks.
Extended Magazine.
See, I got too many shotgun choke. No. I already had that one on something, maybe. Let's get that one by,
Oh.
by.
Yeah, we're not gonna have this one with us.
No. Handgun compensator.
Handgun.
But I don't think I can have it on my mullet.
Oh, I have an object vision, penetrating vision modulator now as well.
Yeah, because I put it in.
No, like I have it
Oh, you
in
have it
my
on you.
inventory.
Nice.
And it's not shared inventory either, so.
No, it's not. Very true.
Oh my gosh,
Why
I'm
am
gonna
I
use
carrying crafting resources?
it. That I don't
want
know.
to carry that.
I can't
I
answer
don't want
that.
to carry that.
Because you said the object penetrating vision module was the fucking best.
Yeah, you can see through objects, so it's kind of nice,
That is
to say the least.
kind of cool.
Can
Alright,
have,
let's
like,
see what we can
everything?
recycle.
Oh, wait,
The character
isn't
creation
it
stuff and so on. Oh, gotcha.
Symbol crafting.
I kind of like the character creation in this. It's not too much, but it's not nothing either.
It's not nothing, yeah.
Recycle this item.
I just farted so bad.
Nice.
Smells so bad right here.
No, look, I'm proud of you. Well done.
Why do I have crafting resources? I don't want it. I don't want it. There we go. I can put it in here. I don't need to be carrying plastic and steel and
Get rid
shit.
of that. No, right?
Aluminum. Aluminium.
Aluminium.
No. Let's not recycle that just yet. Let's.
Consumable crafting. Nope, we don't really need
I'm
to.
carrying lead and all kinds of shit I don't need to be carrying.
Lead is kind of heavy.
Yeah. But I mean,
Um,
I got so much weight on me still. Why?
Seekers with a machine gun.
Could be all the high explosive rounds I'm carrying.
Alright, so there's one daily assignment where we need to destroy 15 machines in the marshlands region. I don't know where the
Yes.
marshlands is.
Then let's find it. Shall we?
Farmlands region. Forest, North Coast. Marshlands region is way to the north. It's probably...
So that's something for later then.
Yeah, it's probably like high level shit.
Yeah. I mean, we are high level people, but sure. No, we're not.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. There's
Oh my gosh.
what's a big joke.
I'm gonna try to invite good guy again.
I'm
invited him.
putting some of my high explosive rounds into the storage, so if you need any,
Nice.
you should take some.
I mean, it's not shared storage. It's your personal storage.
Really?
Yeah.
The storage box too?
Yeah. Everything is personal. Oh my gosh, good guy's here.
What? Where is he?
He's at the start.
Oh my god,
At the
he's here,
safe
I
house.
see him.
We could actually, yeah, you know what? Let's fast travel to the start and let's just walk with him through the start there.
No, he's here. He's here. He traveled to Minken.
Oh my
He's here.
gosh, really?
He should be touching down where I'm at.
Holy shit, yeah.
He is gonna.
Hello, we can hear you. Let's see if we can give you
Wait,
some...
that's in game. Are you
Is that
streaming, good
in-game?
guy?
I think I'm gonna do without it this time.
Okay. Are you on Discord or where are you?
I'm in Discord.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
what I thought. I'm gonna grab a gun for
I just
you.
need to.
Thank you.
God damn it! Come on, computer, come on, help me now,
but
honey
this is
bun.
like the
There we
only
go.
gun I can give you. Only gun I have. I dropped it. Did it?
Where?
It just said
Let's get
it
that.
just dropped.
There we go.
Don't tell me that dropping means that you destroy the thing.
No, shouldn't be.
There's nothing on the floor.
Literally nothing
me
on the
see.
floor.
Where did it go then? That's weird.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Weird and sad.
Oh, I got so many rifles. Let's see. Take this one. And bring it. And then, where are you? There you are. Hello, friendo.
Hello.
Alright,
Maybe
but
see it.
just to put it in the storage.
yeah, no, I looked at the storage
you-
as well.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to drop the Älgstuds that I'm holding on to. Let's see. We have it right there, and drop item.
No,
There
yeah,
you go.
that's
That works.
There you are.
the fuck.
Thank
Take
you.
it.
Including all of the attachments.
Yes.
Oh wait,
Thank you.
You need something good. You need something good. Let's
Fair
see. I have a
I-
sledgehammer. I have a Magnus. I have a baseball bat. You want something of that?
Good question, because I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh, nice. Here, I dropped. I finally dropped
wait.
it over there.
I gave you the wrong gun. I gave you the wrong gun, man. Can you give me my Älgstudsare back?
Give me a second. I need to figure out how to.
There you go. Thank you. Because I'm giving you my automatic and not my Älgstudsare. There we go.
Nice. And over here you have the Masur hunting rifle. But I mean, wait. But the point is that they have friendly fire in close combat and people still work with each other and do not kill each other. Is something that should not be possible in game. But Helldire's did, and Helldire's basically like D&D. Yeah, no, that's insane that people don't constantly kill each other in Helldivers. No one play Helldivers no more. The people I know just nowadays going super Helldive solo.
Doc,
Jesus. Yeah.
What kind of bullets does the automatic rifle use?
Depends.
7.62 millimeters.
7.62.
Yeah.
Let's
Is it?
see, 'cause
Is
you
it?
don't have any bullets right now, so you need some.
Nope. Yes, please.
Is it Automotive R4?
Yes.
Yeah. You can pick this up as well. It's a hunting rifle.
Let's
I
see.
literally have thousands of that 7.62.
Yeah, me
Yes.
too.
Yeah. Okay then.
Me too. Don't give him. I just picked some up to give to him.
Gotcha.
So drop. There we go. 7.62 for
Craft
you.
armor kits.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the chat is
There you go.
the chat is shared.
Is
yes,
this
yes,
pick your
indeed.
favorite?
I
Whose
will
chat
be
do I go to?
And I also need the point 243.
243. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Two,
She'll kit you out.
three.
You guys are spoiling me like hell right now.
Of course.
Oh, by the way, this thing over here, good guy, has like daily missions on it. Just accept all of them. It has some missions that should be easy to finish within the 18 hours, which is like destroy 30 runners with a handgun. The runners are the ones that look like dogs.
243 is lying on the ground right now for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's give you some
Five seekers.
med packs too, because you're gonna need it. I should have a lot of them.
I got some first aid kits at least.
Yeah, that's
good.
that's
I
what I
love
mean.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
need it.
Let's see, I have 25 more. You can have those. Let's see.
I love Good Guy. We all love Good Guy. He's such
He's
a
a good
fucking
guy.
beauty.
And Hoops, I love you too.
Oh, it's love.
Hoops is everyone's Pookie.
Hoops is
Exactly.
everyone's Pookie. Oh shit!
Yes, he is.
Speaking of, I entirely forgot about the haiku for Paradise.
You awful,
with everything
awful
else.
man. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put my fireworks in my wheel now. Because it's always good to have them close. Right? Or maybe the adrenaline shot. No, I don't need that. This one. Put that one there. And then.
Yeah, there we go.
Set that one there. There we go.
All right, Paradise. Here's your haiku. Daddy Paradise. Hope you are doing super. Love you lots, buddy. See? See? I can do nice haikus as well.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right,
I
X Gamer, take
am
care of that
good,
headache.
Hoops. Thank you for asking. How are you?
How are you?
How are you? Where were we, Doc?
I don't know,
We were
but
going down, not up.
I mean,
But I think,
yeah, we should probably just leave, right?
yeah. Let's do it. We got the big fucker somewhere close, though, so we need to look out for him.
I mean, we could also, you know, purposefully go there.
We could. We don't have our bikes right now, though.
Rival profile. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna track him.
Rival profile? What? Where?
Yeah.
Who?
No, like when you right click him to track him, you can also
Yeah.
get rival profile.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like you can just see some stats on him, I guess.
Ooh, oh shit. He's
I mean-
a big one.
Yeah, but we can do it.
Yeah, we
kill
can
him.
do it.
We're 3 people. You and me got rocket launchers. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it'd be real good for a good guy to
Meet the big ones to start?
yeah, and XP wise, just to
Yeah,
be
that's
able
true.
to wait,
That's
right.
true.
There's something here.
Hey,
First time
Jibs.
playing this game.
Hey,
run
Jibs.
into a boss fight instantly. Love it.
Yeah. No, it's not a boss. It's just a big one, and
This
he
game
has
is
been
fun, man.
staying at the same place for a long time now. So
Yeah.
he's unrivaled. I
There-
got houses over here.
Yeah, there's a
I got
forward
an old
base over here.
ruin too.
I think we're
Oh, shit.
we gotta go downwards because there's like a forward base over here.
Yeah, I see a robot walking on the field as well.
Yeah, the robots are usually out on. Fuck, I need a new scope. This scope is so dirty.
I got
There's
some
2 of them
runners.
left.
You start
just
farming reapers. Man.
Go. Got another älgstudsare. Don't mind if I do.
You found guns up there?
Yeah.
Sick. Whoa, shit.
Villa Kaseberg. I got another gun I can find up here, so I'm gonna.
There's 2 of them to your left as well.
Yeah, it's all good. We can
The
take them.
good.
Holy shit.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
wait.
surprised that you've played this game, Jibs. It's like a Swedish dystopian survival.
Oh, you fucker.
Nice, nice, nice.
Oh yes, the birdies are here too.
Birdies!
Sweet.
Sweet, sweet motherfucker!
Your birdie. I heard one of your birdies.
You heard him? God
Yeah.
We heard your bird.
Sweet.
We heard a bird.
Wait, is Hoobs in mine or yours?
Yes.
Yours. Yours, bestie.
He's in mine?
Yeah.
Ba.
There's
Hooba.
so there is no person for you.
Habaluba.
Perfect.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! What is this?
There's
What is-
a huge ass robot. inviting
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I noticed that, and something is coming up from the ground here.
You
I
guys
am
are
taking
far
my.
away. Oh,
I'm going a bit
goo.
far away. God, nope.
Ooh, goo. I am getting attacked
You
from something very far away. Oops, I already don't like. Oh, hello. Yes. Big ones. Oh, no. Oh, and it's fast, too? That's scary.
Can I stand here, maybe?
Ow! And I'm dead.
Is it supposed to be?
You're not dead yet.
8 HP.
Take
Ah,
some.
damn, that
Take some. Ooh.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah, you should hurry, man. You should hurry.
Pew!
Ow, 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 ow.
It's not entirely dead yet.
Not yet. Okay. Good guy, you're shooting my small bot. So leave her alone.
Not bad.
She's on our side.
Oh, I turned it around. I turned it around. Please, someone shoot it in the back.
Perfect, perfect. I'm gonna try to get my...
There we go.
Perfect.
Nice.
It's down.
Very well done,
That
gang.
one's down, but
That's-
it was
that's
not
not-
the big one.
This is the Warframe channel. Kind of forgot to upload something.
Check the Warframe channel, kind of thought. Ooh, I'll check it later. Right now, I am a teensy bit...
Kiosabelli Outpost. But like,
Yeah.
what can we do here?
I don't know. It was like
I'm
the... We were at the other one too before. We can do much there
Yeah.
either.
Right?
Ooh.
It's kind of annoying.
Found a
Ooh, I'm level 14 now, and I got some more paint jobs. I'm
Nice,
happy.
nice.
We can't
Uh,
go inside here, or what?
Doc, you get the .50 bullets or anything?
Let's see. I don't think I do.
No.
Let me check.
I ain't got them small bullets.
Panzervärnsgevär.
Panzervärnsgevär.
That's cool, but no, I don't have the
Dang
ammo
it.
for that.
I think
Sorry.
it's a 50. I think it's a 50 cal semi-automatic.
Where did you
It's
find
gonna
it?
be on the robot.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
it's-
another big one over here.
Yeah. I'm coming.
I'm just shooting at it because it's fun.
Hey, senorita, let's go, baby.
Come on, let's go. Where is it?
Where? Oh, up
Over
there.
yonder.
Yet. Yonder. A bit up there, you know. Take a little look-see, look around. Where are you? There you are. Hello, gorgeous.
There we go. Crippled it.
Hello. You
There's
did
the,
what?
I
small-
crippled it. I got it right in the tank.
There we go. It's down. Biggins is down. Hello,
Nice.
hello.
Hallå, Steven.
Nej men hallå din lilla fuling, vad gör du?
Så ja, nu dödade vi dem.
Uh,
The runners we want to kill with just normal pistols, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a mission.
Blah.
Ooh.
Oh, 50 BMG, perfect. That's what I wanted.
Perfect. You got what you needed.
Yeah. This is gonna be a good weapon. I can already feel it.
Uh,
The Ulv is still down there.
yeah, we're
so-
going to it. We're gonna run
Yep.
right towards it.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. I'm sorry.
Sorry, sorry.
I'm just gonna learn how to. Oh, never mind. I don't have anything I can put on. Never mind. Fuck that.
I don't know how long I put the no cursing on, and I have not been keeping tabs on the time. So
Give me a
that's
minute.
bad.
If that's correct, it's 5 minutes ago you put. He redeemed it.
Question is, how long is it for?
Börja hidden control
See,
point.
It is 10 minutes.
Okay, then halfway through then.
Oh, I gained a level. I'm
Yeah,
level
5
14.
minutes till left. Yes.
Yes. Ooh, ooh, good.
Oh,
So
there's.
now-
Is this a mission? There's a mission here.
There is.
Is this? What is
As
this?
I don't know.
It
is
looks
it?
like big, beautiful weapons. Claim control point.
Oh,
Oh,
it
it-
looks like something for the big ones.
We can't claim this control point yet, though. Interesting.
We can't?
I can't.
Well, maybe, probably me neither then. Let's see what we have up here.
Okay, it's a the sniper I found, that's a 50 cal.
That is kind of
That's gonna-
cool.
That's gonna do a lot of damage.
That's nice.
That's so
That's-
nice.
Oh my gosh, very nice, yes.
Yes, that's very
Very
nice.
nice.
Is it anything in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Some ammunition.
Come
Ooh.
on, now I want to see runners so I can use it on them. See how good it actually is. But when you want them, there's no one.
No, that's the way it works in this game. Oh my god, it's so beautiful as well. Holy shit, the lighting.
Never mind, guys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doc, come over here.
Not
Investigate.
me then.
You're like
Okay.
200 meters away from me.
Yeah. Well, southwest from where I'm standing, that's a huge ass robot.
Oh. Yeah, that's the direction of the ulv, too. Let's see. Where are you
Damn.
at? No, that's
No,
not.
I'm running straight towards Ulven right now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't give you binoculars. Sorry, good guy. Didn't think of it. Let's see.
Binoculars.
Binoculars.
Yeah, I think you start with binoculars actually.
It's a tank. It's a tank.
Oh, and I'm gonna die.
No, you're not. Just run away. Run, run, run.
Brave, brave Sir Robin.
Shoot mines at me, that's
Bravely run away.
Yeah, I know. I'm not that far away, so we threw it at me too, you know.
I see it. The monster of Lisam. He's a tank. So he's not a really, really big-un.
Oh, that's nice.
He's just
Wait.
a normal...
Are we seeing the same one then?
Yeah, someone shot at it at least.
why. I did.
Yep.
Oh, that's...
So-
Okay, well.
Oh wait, is it dead? Oh yeah.
No, it's not dead yet. Oh, fuck. He has a
Now it-
gas launcher. This guy.
That dog,
It's the one.
it's not zero left.
So wait, that's the one? That's him?
Yep.
No, I'm seeing a hunter. Wait. There he is. So I'm between two of them right now.
Yeah, me too.
Woo! Damn.
Alright, if you're between two of them, I am right next to three of them.
The monster is down.
Nice.
Good job. I
Has
didn't
been
do
destroyed.
anything.
Same.
Who the fuck caught it then? Because I didn't do much.
I
I
didn't
think
shoot it at the
I
same time.
think you did. I think you did enough.
Ow, fuck me!
This he is right here. and
Something
he is
shot
down.
me so bad.
Yeah, I think it's the big dude on the or runner dude is coming straight towards Leslie right now.
Yeah, because they have different weapons, and some of them have like sniper weapons, and those hurt like fuck. Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, bestie.
Damn, what did you do?
That just I didn't do anything. I'm just sorry that you were in the middle of a minefield all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was not fun. But hey, I'm still alive. It's fine. And the biggin's over here. He is also still alive.
Not much
Yeah,
longer.
I'm gonna summon my dog.
He and Senorita is down here.
Ow.
Yeah, don't walk close to the mines. That's kind of.
Hit me with your fat cock. Why don't you hit me with your fat cock? Hit me with your cum shot.
We're going
On
down.
fire.
We're going down.
Yeah, that's a
there is
real.
no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole
That's the
into
one that
shock.
good guy
You need
was,
horse cock, of course cock.
Yeah.
Grab the lube and slam the day
A fairly big one. Did we double team it with rocket
Yes,
launchers?
we did. He's
Oh,
down.
dear.
Senorita still alive.
Get spit roasted.
Oh,
Nice.
I got another skin. Senorita, you're such
Got
a good girl. We have
aluminum.
another biggins incoming.
Ah,
There's
scheiße.
another biggins over here.
Yep, I can
Ooh.
both
Ooh,
feel
wait.
and hear that.
You can see.
Ooh,
Oh,
wait.
it's over there. Oh, fuck me.
See, we got some runners around here too.
Oh, fuck you, buddy.
Oh, fuck you. Taste some lead, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if the range
let's see.
is
Did
okay
we
here.
say?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
never mind. It's you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah, I am. I'm very
I
lucky.
was
Oh,
right on the 10 minutes on.
there's another one right here.
I love
have a
this.
runner dress.
I'm shooting the big one in the meantime.
Oh no, I think that's your professor is out now, right?
My professor is out, yeah.
Oh, we got another beacon over there too.
Nice. That's good. Remember the runners wanna get murdered by just normal guns.
I'm about to die.
Don't die.
Now that's dumb.
I gave you first aid kits. Why are you not using
I'm
them?
using it. Someone's still getting shocked.
Wait, the orange ones. The orange ones.
Yeah.
How we do that?
Level 2.5. Copy.
Yeah, you're so good, Senorita, with your beastie mode. She's so cute. I love Senorita Rustpaws.
Senorita Rustpaws.
It's the best name. I'm so
What the
proud
fuck
of
is
her.
that over there? Oh, it's just a water tower.
What are you doing?
I got,
Good guy.
Just aggroing them. We can kill them with pistols.
Off the grid, tier 1 complete. The mouse
Nice.
button.
Ooh, discovered 50 locations. That's nice.
Right? Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta.
These are
I
some
gotta-
really. These are the advanced runners too.
Yeah,
The red ones.
same ones that attacked us earlier,
Sick.
right? When you wanted to start drilling.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
might be the
you
same
did.
ones.
What is that flying over there? That's scary.
It's a water tower.
Yeah, it's just not
Half a
rendering
water
it.
tower.
It's
Really?
like it's laying on the side.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yep.
It was the same for me. I used my sniper in it, and I saw it.
Oh shit.
Let's see, where the hell is
Ugh.
my... Oh, where the hell is my...
I don't know how to get into this
Senorita.
thing.
Come on, pick up. We can't. There's no opening,
Right?
so we can't get in there. Yeah, no.
We have a
wait,
side mission
maybe-
over here.
I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna give it a go. No, didn't work.
Didn't move a single bit.
I'm gonna try it again in the same place. Jump higher to get in.
Jump higher to get in.
It's not that kind of game, Hoopsy. But sure.
Double jump! Double jump!
Wait, is it actually moving a little bit? No, it's not. Damn it. Oh well. Hi, Lil Pix.
Hey,
Thank
Pixie!
you for resubscribing, even though I don't understand you people and why you do it. I love you for it.
You do
He's
people because they want to.
It's so weird though.
She
I'm
wants
not
to
that
be your
funny.
sub, that's all.
She doesn't need to show it that way. I'm always open for new ones. It's fine.
Sick.
You can never have too many.
Stenungsnäs.
Dinner's
There's a,
nest.
there's
Oh
a
my
weapon
God.
here, apparently.
Yeah, I know. There's a side mission too.
Yeah, I marked the side
Fishermen
mission already.
refuse to be evacuated to the shelters. Nice.
Destroy the machines.
I don't hear you arguing about it,
The head of
Pixie.
the
So I'm gonna
pack.
take that as you wanting to be my sub.
Was that it?
Ow.
Did we take them out?
Ow. What's happening?
Oh, that's a
Okay.
shitty big one. Yeah.
Here, face down. Me and my SMG is right here.
SMG stands for Suck My Gun!
Suck my dick.
I hate ads. Good morning, Pixie.
How are you, Pixie?
Did you have a good sleep?
Have a good- Did you have a good night's sleep? I was just about to ask you. What is it in here? Oh my god, there's gas!
Don't you have
There's
a...
gas here, yeah. gas.
Ingo
There's
Nilsson's
gas.
note to his daughter.
There's a lot of gas in here, though. Can you guys hear this too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found some. I found it. And this English.
What the fuck?
Hoobs underscore just
Love you
cheered
too,
50 bits.
Hoopsie.
Oh,
You are a
love
champ.
you too, Hoops.
Love you guys.
Holy shit, wait. That...
Okay, guys.
I picked something up in this house.
Jesus.
I think that's what we just listened to.
No, I listened to.
Thank you, Hoobs. You're a
Okay.
wonderful person.
See, there's a lot of gas in here, though. Let's see. Do we
Is-
have anything
Is
else?
my stream
Oh,
lagging
God,
now?
I
Because
found
my
a gun.
OBS, like,
Found a gun?
the
Yeah, it's just a Muller. It's fine. It's just a
This is
handgun.
really weird. My OBS is
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I
lagging.
have.
But there's so many, like, gas stuff. I don't get it. Locate the missing combo?
Where's the middle? Is it inside?
Yeah, it's inside.
I
You
don't
see, there's so much gas. And there's gas in every room.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, thank you, Hoobs. You didn't need to give it to me too.
Give the boat.
That's not necessary. He's so cute.
Oh, you can survive the gas. Oh, there was a paint job in one of the boxes here.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Maybe I didn't get it. Let's see. Which box? Which box?
A box in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Oh, and I didn't get a Monsieur. I got a Mellow Pepper.
Yeah, I got a Miller too.
Okay, sorry.
That's what I started with.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
is a
That's
2-star.
what we all start with.
Or a 2
think I
crown,
got
rather.
one.
I was gonna drop 100 and then see if it splits it, but when you go to cheer, it says who it goes to. That's very nice of you.
You're
Thank
so
you.
cute. Sweetie.
He's such a fucking beauty.
He's
This is
such
why
a
I love him.
fucking nice one.
Nope.
Did you just enter, like, målbrottet all over again?
No, I did that on purpose. Definitely.
Sure.
Oh my god, you guys!
Oh my god.
Did you see did you see the dead soldiers as well?
Yeah, it's not.
Where are they?
Oh my gosh, there's like a.
I
you
can't
can
even.
open
I
up
can't
the
even
truck and
imitate
stuff.
it anymore. I could when I was younger. But
Oh,
I can't
there's
even
more
imitate
weapons
it.
in here.
Oh my god.
In the and the fucking mine
Oh my
More
god.
weapons?
and grenades.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Up in here.
Oh, there you are.
Up in here.
Up
Up
in
in
here.
here.
Y'all
Huh?
gonna make me
Ooh, we
lose
got
my
some
mind.
grenades. And a mine. Love a good mine.
Mine?
Mine. Red dot scope. Don't need that one
Belly
though.
ahead and
See?
control
Look,
points.
Huh?
looking your shit.
Huh?
Very good.
Oh,
very good,
Pixie,
very
honey,
good.
thank you. Thank you. I'm
Honey,
blessed.
bacon.
Why are no? Oh yeah,
And a
I
dog.
was.
Ah,
freaking
thank
good.
you, Pixie.
Lil Pix just
You're
cheered
such a
100 bits.
beauty, such
Shake
a
that booty, you saucy minx.
Shake, shake, shake.
The outfit.
Shake
And
my
shake that
booty.
outfit. Let's see. What do I? Oh my God! I got a 4-crown extended magazine.
Seriously? Holy
Yes!
shit.
I'll beat you. I got a 5-crown.
Nice.
You get a 5-crown extended mag?
I got a
It is
5-crown
for-
scope though, so I'm happy.
I don't have
Oh,
more
it's
than
for
3-crown
the-
anything.
Yeah,
This is
because
for
you're
the,
bad.
Oh, wow.
KMA, 89 machine
I'm
gun.
sorry. Hey, I got an assault rifle I don't want. I'm gonna drop that.
You guys got a machine gun? The KMB 89? Because that's what I got an extended mag for.
No.
So
I
in
got
other words,
the
it's,
M46.
useless right now.
Velocity increase.
I'm gonna drop an assault rifle, a 2 crowns one. So if you want it, come get it.
I got the one Doc gave me. That's also two.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, but
that
Automotive, she gave you the Automotive.
Yeah, I mean, if you give me the.
As much as I would love to turn this into a war, it's not my best financial choice. Sick.
go, 'cause I
Don't
got a
turn it into a
better
bit
mullet.
war, please.
Just
And
wait
thank
for
you.
enemy. He will come and donate
No.
20 bits on both of you.
He's not allowed.
Oh, I hope not.
He's not
I
allowed.
hope not. I can't take that. It's too much.
Yeah.
Just too much.
I will
mean,
not accept any more financial help, please and thank you.
It sounds like it feels like something he actually would do.
Yeah.
Remove waypoints.
I'm gonna drop that one because I am encumbered and I don't like to be
Yeah,
encumbered.
I was thinking we might head back to Minken,
Yeah.
get rid of stuff, and then head to Kolleby.
Should we? Oh, we shouldn't put down one of those. A radio.
No, I don't think that would be necessary here, because we could just
Okay.
head to Minken and then Kolleby, and it's kind of the same distance anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see. Let's make it.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to shoot some fuckers, so.
Here are you shooting fuckers.
You want to shoot the fuckers?
You'll get there.
Oh.
Easy does it.
Bang!
Bang.
Oh! When I
Say bang,
enter the
bang,
place,
bang.
it says I have new weapons.
Me too.
That is weird.
I got a new weapon. Ooh, and a brännboll back. Brännboll.
Ska vi spela lite brännboll?
But some of these I actually dropped because I didn't want to keep them. So yeah, that's one way to do it.
Cool. Wait, cause one of the guns I got is an upgrade of another one I have.
This is the
I
bakery
see.
awake.
Yeah, the bakery is actually awake, but I don't have the little camera anymore, so I'm just gonna get you guys to come down here first before I gather the boys. Nope, that didn't work.
Got
Too
all
short.
the boys.
Gather the boys.
You want to see the boys?
Yeah, I know. Everyone wants to. They're so fucking cute.
You
Let's
wanna see the boys with the balls?
Good boys.
Oh, we already.
Attachments.
Easy. Let's see.
I'm
Just
gonna go
gonna-
with that one. Magazines, no magazines.
You guys do what you need to
Don't
do.
need that
I'm gonna
one.
fix the stream so they can see my boys.
don't
My pretty
care.
kitty boys.
Pretty
Let's
kitty.
see. My pretty kitties. Cop cutie. Shooting on duty.
Cop kitty. Cute and on kitty.
Let's
Shooting on
see.
kitty.
You're not supposed to care about me right now, so let's do
Weapon
this.
augmenting. Select.
Why is OBS weird?
Um,
Eating
Like
chips.
always.
Small fryer? Nah.
Let's see, why is my cam frozen?
Machine discernment.
That is typical OBS stuff.
Repeat
I think it's
detonation.
because I just put in my other cam too. Let's see. I think my computer is just like, wait, we got something more going on here.
We're gonna do an EMP detonation. There we go. We're gonna augment with that. Alright.
Now, there we go. Let's see. You wanna show up?
We're gonna see what we can recycle now. We don't want to recycle the grenades, because they are useful actually. And someone is just pushing me away as well. It's so fun.
That is my bad.
I'm not moving right now. There we go. We gotta have the camera on point first before I summon the pussies.
Some of the pussy.
Yes.
Sick.
Because who cares about me right now? Goodies!
We
Suburb
got to
Hi.
redeem for it, so we need to see the goodies.
Hi, Bun Bun. Bun is always first.
Kitty.
Loaf, Loaf was still.
Oh, god damn.
Oh, shit!
Oh,
Shit!
What?
Oh.
What?
The bots! The bots!
The fuck?
Oh no!
What is
Wait.
happening? What is happening?
I'll close down the LB bot. Wait. She is down.
Oops,
Hi,
why you're
boys.
breaking stuff?
Hi, boys.
Is currently lurking. Is currently. Oh right, cause the bots then ping hooves.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god. Jesus fuck, that is kind of cool,
Here
actually.
you go, baby.
Oops, stop breaking the bots.
No, break more of the bots.
So Loaf.
Okay, make your enemy,
Is
enemy
this
do more stuff.
awake?
It works.
Yes, yes, more stuff.
More stuff. Enemy.
What's it? It's it. Meep-a.
A landmine? I don't know if I want a landmine though.
Nope. He's so careful. Meep-a.
Heartbeat to the beat of the drum.
Meep-a.
Edie.
Phoenix coordinate
You
data.
guys can't see it, but he's sitting right there like, yeah, what? What do you want me to do, Mom? I don't get it. No, this is for your brother.
He's
Interesting.
sitting pretty.
Fuck you, Ruby. He is such a regal boy. He will not come running. I love my babies. They are so cute. Num 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 num. Yeah, that's it, boys. That's it.
Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna grab
will be
everything I
mad.
have, and we're gonna destroy what we don't need.
Yeah, you do that. Yes, those are my babies. I can't give them too many candies because Hubs is so scared that they might get fat. So
Wow, he's fat phobic, your husband?
no, he's with me.
Brr.
Duh. He can't be fat phobic if he's with me.
Wow.
I
How
mean, he
dare you
has
say
sex with me. It's hard to be fat.
Ew, stuff I
So-
don't need to know. Alright.
Exactly. Thank you for the unnecessary information.
I did not know that both of you were prudes. I'm so sorry.
But
Did
we
not know
are.
this. Yeah, obviously.
Now, how do you feel about that, huh?
Cry me a river.
No.
About that.
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river. Let's see, I
I
don't
was
need a
gonna get rid of
landmine
all
right now.
that. We're gonna. Oh my gosh, 55 emergency flares. We don't need 55 of those. Of theirs.
That's a lot.
51
see.
hand grenades. I mean, I'm loath to get rid of hand grenades, but we're probably gonna grab
Ooh,
more.
I'm gonna
right?
put the EMP cell in Senorita if I want it while we're out. Because you know they can carry some stuff too.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just checking. You never know with you.
I know everything
Oh,
actually.
Runner? Well, hello, you.
Fuck.
Definitely don't need hollow point ammo.
Good runner down here?
Fuck the
Yeah.
compressed air tank.
We got two. Probably some ticks too. Senorita. You didn't do shit there, honey. That's a
small
bit
one's
much
fine.
too.
Small EMP cell. It's just
Excuse me?
fuck the smoke rounds.
Is that you? Oh my god, that's
What's
Heavy, man.
happening?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we
Look
got
at
some
this.
we
Look
got
at
shit down here. Yeah, it's not a small one. Definitely.
And it's a semi-automatic.
Nice. That's a good one.
So I can
Oh, I
basically
hate
just,
them.
I'm just gonna-
I hate the small ones.
all
I really
that.
do hate them. Senorita, why are you not killing them? For me?
she's scared. Scaredy cat.
No, she's shooting. She's shooting the wall.
I think something
there's
is stuck
something
in
on-
the wall.
Yeah, or on the other side of it. It's could be over. There's something over here. Yeah.
Ah. Wait, what? Huh? Excuse me?
Huh?
I shot it 2 times and it still didn't die.
Huh?
You
Two
got bad aim,
times.
man. There's something more. Yeah, I see it, Senorita.
Fuck,
Get
Senorita,
out.
move your ass.
Honey, you're in the
Señorita,
way.
señorita.
Let's pick you up then. Go away.
Definitely don't need smoke grenades. Car battery? Nah.
Let's see, is it down here or upstairs?
Fuck the bird shot.
There's
Looking
something.
upstairs.
Yeah, do that, because I can't see anything else down here. So it should be. Oop, oop. Oop. Got something.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
not
something
gonna
red.
keep that.
Something is down here somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
upstairs
show.
is clear.
I got stuff down here with me. Yeah, I
Coming
do.
down. Oh,
I got a
no.
runner and a tick.
These damn ticks.
I hate them.
Hmm.
They're annoying.
The ticks are kind of annoying, yeah.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Annoying as hell.
Annoying as a motherfucker.
There's more down here somewhere.
Yep, over here is no. I think this one is actually above. Or yes, here. That's another one.
There's a lot of it. Senorita, I feel for you. Oh yeah, Captain Gizzard is the biggest prude.
Captain
Okay.
Gizzard is a prude.
I had to allow it because Automod was being a bitch.
As per usual, as per usual. But yeah, he's the biggest
Well,
prude I ever met.
I'm a bit of a prude. I'd agree.
A bit?
A bit of a prude.
You are a gigantic prude, my good dude.
I'm not the most comfortable with all the type of sexual jokes and stuff. This is true.
Requires key. Huh, I found a locked door.
Cool.
You got a key for it, Doc?
Probably not.
If I don't have it, he doesn't have it.
Dang it.
Well, he could, but I don't think he does.
No, I think we have kind of the same things, at least on this
Yeah.
save.
Yeah.
What
Baby. Hi, baby.
the fuck is weighing me down?
That ass.
Yes, he
I
is.
had you, okay.
That ass.
That was good though. That was good though.
Fast thinking too.
Yeah.
Touche. Touche. Doc, don't forget to hydrate.
Your mom can hydrate.
Maybe she does. I wouldn't know.
Sissy. Fuck you.
He's just mad you're actually calling him out on something that's true.
Wow.
Nothing else.
How could you do this to me? Top 10 anime betrayals of all time.
For me? The
Yes.
fuck? Jesus, you're so dramatic.
So
Why?
dramatic. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh my god, all my fucking ammo weighs so much. I honestly think you're not supposed to have this many weapons on you.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
The debt
Pixie.
must be paid.
You're such
Right.
an asshole.
Now.
What did she do?
The debt must be
Deep.
paid.
Yep.
Kiss the floor. Kiss
Right
the floor.
I'm ready with the command.
The fuck is that? Oh wait, it's just that dark?
Dual mode, low light, IR mode. Wait, maybe that is both of it then. Which would be nice. There we go. Let's see.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
it-
I scared my wife.
That's bad. Why did you scare her?
I wanted to kiss her.
Oh, I got a scope that's both night vision and thermal. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
And I got ammo doing the middle finger towards me.
The ammo? Really?
The ammo is literally standing up like a hand,
That's 10.
3 fingers down, and the middle finger is up.
Nice. Nice.
That's 10. 10 pushies.
I don't
push-ups,
have
alright.
That's what you get.
Such a good boy.
Thank you.
Sticky emergency flare. Bye bye. Ooh, I wanted to. That's why I had her out. Ooh, wait, I got some new skins, I think.
You think?
I think I did, yes. No, I'm gonna stay with the Dazzle camo. She looks like. She looks so good. No, wait, I got a new. Disconnect.
It should be enough, right? Alright, gasoline.
No, I like that. Beast mode.
Beast mode.
I was getting you out to put some stuff into you. Senorita. Oof, come on. Pop up.
Man,
Pop up, honey buns.
what is weighing
There we
me
go.
down?
Inventory. I
Oh,
got
fuck,
some
that sounds
stuff.
like a fucking demon.
Sign to
Yeah,
slaughter.
that's my companion. She sounds like that. Let's put my field radios into her too. Some more paramedic
Find
response packs.
seekers.
Repair kits. Let's do that. No, I want to pay at all times.
You know what
Don't
we
need
could do?
that. No, EMP cell. That's
No,
what
I
want.
still need the L2 cell. Yep, we're just going with this gun. Fuck it. Fuck
I'm
everything.
just gonna get some stuff. Oh,
Jesus
Gonna go
fucking
crafting.
Christ. A 50 cal gun.
Listen, Doc,
Let's
listen to
see.
this. It's in a semi-automatic 50 cal.
Jesus.
holy.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
a tank destroyer right there.
I just need to get a scope on it, and maybe a muzzle.
A muzzle would probably be nice, but I mean, what kind of fucking muzzle would you have on a gun like that?
There should be one.
There's not like a silencer for it, I don't think.
Imagine.
Maybe.
A silenced 50 cal.
That would be so cool though.
But for now, I need a scope on it, but I cannot find a single scope that fits it.
Let's see. I was gonna look
Alright,
at.
it's the girl who cried wolf is the main mission we're going for here.
No.
Go to the village of Kolleby.
Kolleby.
Kolleby?
Oh, wait, do
Ska vi
I
till Kolleby
Vi ska
allihopa?
till Kolleby?
Ja men gud så trevligt.
Ja, så trevligt.
Ja men då åker vi då.
Ja.
Ja, vi är på vägen igen. Vi väntar på dig.
Jaha, okej. Ja, men you guys can't just leave me and expect me to know exactly how to walk to find you
I
guys.
didn't expect you.
I'm just walking after Doc.
Yeah, and that's never a good idea. You know that, right?
True.
It's always a
We
good
went
idea.
downstairs, right?
I had to get
Follow
this-
me if
is
you
that
want to
lost
leave.
or,
Yeah, we took the same exit we took before.
Before it that doesn't tell me shit though, but sure.
Last time we exited.
So
Oh, I hear a tank or a giant robot walking.
I can't find
Doctor, come here.
the exit.
There are literal signs on the walls for the exit.
Doctor, come back. There's a I think there might be a robot in here somewhere. Yeah. There it is.
So they didn't go downstairs.
Right, let me.
We went upstairs. Oh, scheiße. He sees me.
Fuck. Wait. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where's the
It's,
robot?
It's just down here.
Where's the robot?
Robot?
Robot.
Ebro.
Oh,
Sup,
fuck.
man?
Under combat. Ah, shit.
This door is. Oh, there we go. Automated.
Ow, right up. That's my face. Thank you for
That's my face.
Do you have ticks and stuff?
No, it's a big
How
one.
the hell do I get to you guys? How in the hell?
You know when you're in the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. You walk
Oh, yeah,
out. You just take a right, and you walk straight down that
No,
corridor.
I'm outside.
Okay.
I'm just 150 meters away from you now.
Yeah, but if you're out in the open, you're gonna find us. Oh, jeez.
I can hear your gunshots too. So.
Please stop hurting.
Yeah, you know, it's not that much I can do to make it quieter, you know. So you can hear me from miles away. Let's see what good shit we got. Two red dot scopes.
Kolleby Viking control point entrenched.
Let's see. We have something.
Alright.
Oh my god! I gotta get down from here.
I believe in you. You can do it. You're
Oh,
like
I've been
so
here.
good.
We've been here.
Yeah. It's just that it respawned. That's all.
Ah, okay. Well then, Kolleby, where's
Straight
that?
up here, we just follow this road.
Yes, sir.
What?
I'd love
Come
to
on,
have
señorita.
like the bikes now or something.
Yeah. I would love a bike too.
How would you like a bike?
Bicycle, bicycle.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Oh, there's something here. Grab your handguns. No, okay. Never mind then.
I did not expect him to die by one shot.
Oh yeah, the runners will die from a 50 cal.
Whoops. He got disintegrated.
Honestly, most things that aren't giant will die from a 50 cal to the face.
You wanna test it out? Turn around.
There's no friendly fire in this game. No, don't.
Come here, boy.
Right,
We've been
there's
inside that one too, right?
We've
Yeah,
been
cross
fighting
the
around this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here.
But I don't know what to do in here, that's the thing.
But don't do anything in there then.
I don't know if we can or should do something in there.
Fuck it. Don't do anything.
Don't do anything. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Just don't do anything. Wait.
Let's
Jävla
see.
bit. Nej, kolla bit.
What is happening?
Look, we got a
Kolla
sign
bil.
and everything. Burnt out car.
Alright.
Wait, we have something up here.
If it's a runner, do like Doctor said. Only
Yeah, I already have my handgun out.
Bump.
Bam.
Got it.
Bam, 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 bam.
There's more than one. It said entered combat.
I think
There we go.
companions are shooting us.
Yeah,
Yep.
she found it.
Wait, actually, we should probably get rid of our companions then, so they don't take the
Why?
kills.
No, she didn't. She just
Oh.
helped me
Became the
along.
invader of
Nothing.
Kielsabelli.
Ah.
Well, he should be close then, because we were just there.
He's but
Yeah,
on
he's-
the other side.
On the other side?
On the other side of what?
On the
Oh,
other
he's
side of
down there.
Kielsabelli.
He's way
Kolleby.
down there.
Sorry.
Oh, he's there. Okay, never mind. That's very far.
If you see
Okay.
seekers, we just need to kill 5 seekers with machine guns.
I'll leave that to you guys.
Thank you.
I can do that.
I can do that. Oh, there's something over here. What is this?
I'm almost at Kolleby.
There is the runner.
Yeah, here's Kolleby. I have it.
Girl.
Look for answers about a cataclysm. House of Veronica Nilsson. In Kolleby. Ooh, my back.
My neck,
My back.
my pussy, and my crack. Oh,
I didn't want to say those crude things. You nasty,
wow,
nasty man.
crude. There's like loot over here.
I'm just going after the main mission first.
Yeah, I'm coming down.
Ooh, we should be able to find a bike station somewhere around here.
Ooh, level 3, perfect.
Level 3 what?
I'm level 3 now.
Oh, nice.
And got
Oh,
some
hello.
points.
Ah, damn it.
What is this?
Fucking tick. Do you have any more ticks in here? I think I'm in
That
Veronica's
just lowers
house,
them.
so I'm just gonna walk around here, try to find.
You're in the JJ's house.
Yes, I am in Vajayjay's house. Vajayjay
Nice.
Nilsson.
The JJ Nilsson.
Yes. Senorita is walking the perimeter, so I feel
She's our
stealthy.
protector.
Mine. She's mine.
Okay.
Senorita the Protector.
She can protect you too, but Doc has his own prof. So, I'm gonna listen to something now.
Alright.
Yeah, we're all gonna listen to it.
Yep.
Alright,
Och jag
Uncle
behöver sova
Tobbe.
hos er i natt.
I love
Uncle
the
Tobbe.
English, then go over to Swedish.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Swedish game. But I saw that you can do the voice, like have the voices in other languages as well. Like it doesn't have to be Swedish.
Yeah, I have mine in
Really?
English right now,
Really?
but I hear it both
Yep.
in Swedish and English.
Like the subtitles for me are in English, but the voices are in Swedish.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna put it. Voice language is set on English for me right now. It's either English
Yeah.
or Swedish.
Something up here. There's something up here.
It's
Can you read it? Thank you. Yeah, she's being a good girl. She's showing me where the enemies are.
Amenies?
You find enemies.
Enemies.
I found enemies.
Oh, nice loots.
Let's just fucking take. Ooh, got stuff in the kitchen. Ooh, I got some new pants.
New pants?
I got some new pants.
Oh my god.
Pants.
Mama's got some new pants.
I think I
There's-
found Veronica's house.
You did?
Maybe.
Load. Yeah, search for answers in Veronica's house in Kolleby. Nice. Oh,
Man,
there's
it's
some
just
burned
a
down house
giant
here.
grayish house with a bunch of blood by the door
Yeah, that's hers.
and some small ticks.
I am.
Talk him up, bro.
Hey.
Requires
Ooh,
key.
Yep.
Stupid ticks.
That was not smart. What did you say?
Stupid ticks.
Ah, ticks.
Fuck you
Heard
think I
something
said.
else. I heard something else.
I said stupid chicks. No.
No.
I
Stupid
did
Said
not.
chicks and I said ticks.
Some gloves. Some
We need to
lockpicking,
find a
some
key
accelerants.
for a locked
Nice.
room in the house.
Find a key.
Yeah, there's a key we need.
Huh.
Oh, there's a
Okay,
weapons
yeah.
crate up here. Ooh, pump action shotgun.
The fuck
Oh,
did I
need
miss?
that.
In the weapons
found-
locker there.
Found it. Found a key.
You found the
You found
key.
it.
Nice.
You found the key?
I found the key.
I remember
Where's
just running
the-
down.
There it is. I don't need a new Magnus. God damn.
Yeah, I can take it. Why not?
Oh, computer.
What the?
Cataclysm
Cataclysm
Day,
Day
Tier 1
one.
complete. Jesus, laggy.
128,000 RAM system.
What the fuck is happening now? It's super laggy for me.
It is? I have no lag.
Same.
Like in game, it's super laggy.
Locate
Yeah,
Fort
I have
Tosbel, yeah.
Let's see here. Graphics. Quality preset might not need to be on high. Or ultra, I mean. It can be high instead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Otherwise, put it
Oh
on
yeah, that's way
medium.
better.
Come on, senorita.
Oh, much
I
better
already
actually.
looted that car. Let's see what do
Jag
we
skulle
have up
leta
in the
efter Fort Torsberg, ja.
Holy shit, there's a
Torsberga.
different game.
Torsberg, ja, man ska säga det med smålet, eller säga det på ett annat sätt.
Torsberg, ja.
Torsberg, ja.
Push.
Tors. Småländska.
Oh fuck. My battery in my headphones is dying, so I gotta charge them as well. Let's see.
I can
there we
charge
go.
mine and use them at the same time. Can you do that?
I can.
What can you
Ah,
do?
shit. I
What?
found a giant robot. Again.
Sick.
I can charge my headphones and use them at the same time.
I can do that too. I'm currently doing it.
Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy.
You guys wanna fight a giant robot?
Yes?
Yeah, always.
I just have to find you. I can see
Oh, there
where
you
you
are.
are. You're
Go
up
south.
there. Oh, let's see. I just gotta go downstairs. I don't want to hurt myself again.
Or I can say follow the shooting.
I hurt
I
myself today.
today to see if I still feel. Me and Senorita are inbound. We're talking biggins?
I'm talking
Yep.
this size.
Oh yeah, we're talking big ones. The people with the grenade launchers are here.
Need launcher.
It's down. We're good.
Oh, we got some dogs here.
Some doggos?
Yeah, runners.
On a hat.
See?
On a hat.
Well, that's not a happy dog anymore. That's also not a happy dog anymore.
A little dead dog.
We're getting shot at though.
Get buckshot.
Yeah, but from where? You are shooting over here. There we go. Good job, Senorita.
Senorita,
Senorita.
senorita.
Doing work.
She's my good girl.
Well, let's go back to the village and see if we can locate the fort.
Wait, we have something more over here.
Fuck, she's
Yeah.
shooting at. Oh,
Ooh, nice.
What are you charging at me? Damn it. Thank you, Senorita.
can we even get in here?
Like, I feel like there should be a way to get in here.
I think it might be like sensors, and you need to, like a robot.
Oh wait, no. There's a truck here.
Ah.
We can climb up on.
And that's speed. Can you get in from there?
Yup. I don't know how to get out, but I could get in.
I found some more runners in the village behind, which is where the fort is apparently. Alright. Ah, fuck.
What did you find? Another big one? Yeah, you did.
Uh,
Or 2 big ones.
3.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh, scheiße.
they're not that big. They're kind of stupid. You should try aiming for their back. Their back?
Yeah, that works.
Right.
I mean,
They are tanks on their back, so that just
Yeah,
excludes them.
50 cal in the insta died, so we're good.
I didn't know you could
Yeah.
destroy these. Cool.
Destroy what?
The towers that go up and down and inside. I just didn't see the boxes.
Good job, good.
Yay! Hello!
Oh, we
That's
got
good.
3 weapons in here. 3
Your
weapons
weapon.
and 1
Ooh.
collectible.
Guteby farm.
It is not good. I got like 7 enemies on me right now.
What the fuck, dude?
How?
Good
Are you
question.
even trying to be stealthy?
I'm not even
Didn't
trying
you-
to find enemies, but apparently I still do from nowhere.
I blow up towers. Because I can.
You're so good. I'm trying to get to you. Escape. Good guy.
X-Gamer.
I
Sorry.
am not X-gamer.
No, but your
Are you
name
not,
has
though?
X's. That's why every time
Yeah.
I see your name, I start saying something with X, and then I remember like,
Oh, Jesus!
yeah, you
There's
got
a
some
lot.
big boys. Yeah, you got some big boys on
No.
your ass.
No. Oh, wait. Good guy has big boys on his butt?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because I don't have big boys on my butt. I just blew up myself.
No, you don't have them, because you're nowhere near here, are you? Because you are no help at all.
Like always.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm gonna take that one.
Feels like these fuckers
There we go. Oh, ouch!
should be
Something
susceptible
pushed
to,
me.
like,
God damn. I think Senorita is still up with you, though. Oh, there we go. I'm coming.
well, brag.
Nope.
Now there's just runners, which we can do
Yeah.
with yeah, bitch. Sit your ass down. Oh,
He's
time for
so
loot.
cool. He's so cool. Did you hear him, Doc? He's so
Yeah,
cool.
I heard him. He's
Are you
super
gonna
cool.
take this big one too, then? Now that you're so cool?
What? Oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
fine.
you're not
To you.
talking to me.
I got downed by a big one.
Are you guys How are you guys doing? Fuck's sake. Who's
I don't
shooting
like
at me
being
and why?
attacked.
It's Senorita shooting in your direction. You got the floaty things going to you as well.
Why would anyone shoot me? Oh, okay, wait, no. Ah,
That's a tick.
with machine
That's
guns.
one.
We have to shoot them
Yep.
with machine guns.
There's one in front of me as well.
Ouchies. Leave me alone. What is it? Can you read it? Take care of this. Oh, shit! It's a seeker one. Flying fuckers.
Your
That explains all the ticks.
jaktmaskin 60 evolved to level 2.
Yeah.
Insane.
Ah, there it is. That's the reason then.
What?
We got another. Ah, fuck it.
Oh,
There we go.
Never mind.
Got it.
Kill always works.
I got it too, you know.
I got it.
Nice.
For me, I got it.
uranium.
Check. There's something. Yeah, it's another one.
Yeah, I was gonna shoot, but I didn't know if that was a Senorita or a runner.
It's okay. She can take it.
With a 50 kill?
With a 50 cal?
You think she can survive a 50 kill?
Yeah. There's
Can
no friendly
you
fire, dude.
survive a 50 cal?
Friendly fire. Ooh, but if I remember correctly, this is a thing.
Explosions?
Making these ones explode.
I thought you were gonna shoot the one by X side.
What the blue ones?
That works.
What happened?
There was a
Jesus, Doc, where are you?
I'm in the
God
Guilty
dang.
Beef farm. I'm blowing shit up.
You're far away from us.
Yeah, because there's supposed to be 3 weapons here, and we haven't found them.
We have an undiscovered safe house back where we were, too.
And
Like
the
I
north
said-
of there.
Undiscovered shit, though.
Let's see, I'm gonna go get the stuff over here. Yeah, you're making shit blow up, aren't you?
Yeah. They make things go boom.
Making things go boom is fun.
Oh boy, yes.
Like, boom.
Patty boom boom? No?
No, it's just, no. No, bestie. No.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm going back to find the safe house
Like-
because I want my bike.
You want your bike?
I want my bike.
Oh, my
I'm
boy.
tired of walking. I'm so tired of walking. Is there anyone watching us right now? I
Yeah,
have
we
no
got like
idea.
4
No,
viewers or
my
something.
my Twitch is not loading when I'm in game.
I can see that I'm
Fuck, I'm
unstable.
over-encumbered.
My connection is unstable.
There is 8 people on docks and 4 on your stream.
Sick.
What it says.
Yeah.
Then there's the bots and me. So there's like 2 people watching on your stream.
Yay! I got 2.
Well, 3 technically if you count with me.
Yeah, I don't count you though.
I don't count you. Whoa.
I'm sorry, I needed that one.
Whoa, that's very aggressive.
I am. That's why I love these kind of games.
Be aggressive.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
aggressive.
I even found beds
Nice.
and a collectible.
Nice.
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 And a bike station.
Ooh.
Yay! I have a bike again. I'm so happy.
Let's. Alright, you weigh a fair bit as well, don't you, buddy?
Oh fuck! Don't go in the
What did
water,
you
dudes.
Yeah, because you die in the water, right?
Mm.
Oh, you just. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Just deal a lot of damage to yourself.
Let's see, where are we going though?
Y'all
I
found
wanna
the safe
see.
house, right? No?
Yeah.
It still says undiscovered for me, which is bullshit.
Which
It's,
means you
it
probably
says
need to
for me
discover
too.
it.
It's another safe house. I found a small one closer. It's really just a safe house.
Oh,
I'm
really?
taking my bike. I am taking my bike. See if I can follow this trail. That would be nice.
This has
We
to
got
be
some
the safe
thunder
house,
going.
though, that I was looking at on the map.
Yeah, that's the safe house I
Yeah.
discovered too.
Safe house unlocked.
Nice.
I'm gonna go
Take
find the
bike.
other one.
Yeah, I got a bike.
Yay! There should be a collectible somewhere around here. I would like to find it.
Yeah, damn, he's biking fast, you know? Almost 30 kilometers an hour.
You can even ring the bell if you just left click.
Hey, I gotta. This dude is biking as fast as a moped right now.
Mhm.
I found some guns. A Pauka. Wow.
You found some guns?
Yeah. It's 2 guns.
Oh wait, I'm biking the
Where?
wrong way.
In the house I'm in. Jeez.
Cool.
I'm in a house.
Menehus?
Where? Over here.
I'm going
Wow.
over to. I'm trying to see if I can locate the fort so we can continue with the main mission.
So, like, I'm trying to find
Doc,
the
did you get a
collectible.
moped?
What?
Are you riding a moped?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. I like the bikes more. They're quieter. Doesn't attract attention.
That's a nice bike.
Not really though.
It's not as fast as the normal bike, though. Or is it?
It is. It
Right
is
now
a
I'm going
bit
30.
faster. Fuck this.
Wait, you're trying to ram me?
Wait, no, I would never.
Yes, he would. Doubt. Then back it.
There you go, 41. Going fast. Hello, señorita.
Senorita, I feel for you. You deal with things that you don't have to. Doc, what are you doing?
I'm checking
I'm
through the
trying to
house.
find- Yeah, good. That's where I found the 2 guns.
Where did you find them?
In one of the rooms.
I mean, there's a gun. I mean, it was a rifle scope for me.
Because you're not cool enough to get real guns.
Hassle.
Damn it, there's no guns in this house. Why is this bro's house?
Maybe they are pacifists.
How are we gonna survive in this situation?
Ow, stop pushing
Oh,
me.
what the fuck?
Why?
Come on, really? That's some bullshit.
What?
I crashed right into a bike, and the bike didn't move, but I fell off my moped.
Yeah, that was my bike. Be careful, man.
No.
Doc, you wanna have a race with the bike and against the motorcycle or the moped?
Actually, no.
Oh.
I wanna grab a bike instead.
He wants to smash and grab.
Want to-
How's the wife doing?
How is wife doing? She's not answering. She might be asleep.
I hope so. If she's not
Hoe
feeling
melden?
great, then she should be.
Du mår inte jättebra. You think you are dead?
What's going on?
I think you're
No,
dead,
she's
and then
saying
a bunch
that
of
she's
laughter.
dying because she's like Tinkerbell and she's dying from not getting enough attention from me.
Oh, sweetheart, no! Tell her I'm thinking about her, so she can't die yet.
Bestie is thinking about you, so you can't die yet, she says.
No one saw my stream. No one saw what I did. That's fine.
No, good thing I'm watching
Oh,
Doc
jeez.
right now.
Is this? This is the safe house.
Oh,
Nice.
wife said come over here in a sultry voice to you.
Oh, baby, I would love to.
Oh, baby, she would love to. You know what? If you're gonna flirt with each other, you can do that by yourselves.
Screw you, no.
No, I
Screw
don't
you is
need
so
to
much
be
more fun.
a part of this.
Yes, you do. It's fun.
You're not dying, wife.
Oh, damn. I am getting overheated. I hate when this happens.
Like IRL?
Yeah.
No, you know, in game.
I don't want to talk to anyone anymore. Nope, I'm done. I'm done talking. No one
such
is
a
my friend anymore.
Eee, Hubs!
Oh. That's a far way to bike.
Are you really sick, wife? I need to go kiss my wife real quick.
Go kiss her. Or I'll make you do it.
Little wife. Poor little wife.
So Hubs told me to tell you all hi,
Tell him hi back.
and now I'm stuck. I don't know what happened. There we go.
And I think I am hearing a giant robot, which I'm pretty certain I can. That I do. Hello. Yep, I see a robot.
That's fun. Have fun. Good luck.
The ones with the tanks on the back.
I don't even know how you guys got up there. Oh, how the fuck did that happen? God damn it.
What happened?
Nothing.
Fall off the bike again.
Shut up. Why can't
Kan du
you?
inte cykla igen då?
No. Håll käften. How the fuck did you guys get up there though?
Good question, but I'm about to die.
I'm back. I am
I'm good.
so back.
Oh yeah, I can see the explosions. Are you good though?
Is it?
I can
Never
see
mind,
the
there's another one.
explosion.
There's fuck no. There's like 3 more up here.
Yeah, I'm biking slowly but surely towards you.
Oh,
What's
No, I-
happening? Oh shit.
Robots is happening.
Yeah. This part.
Jesus Christ, that your gun?
Professor?
No. Maybe. There's like 2
Yeah,
more
that's
up here.
Professor. God damn. Where are the uggos? I can see the uggos.
I mean, we killed a couple of them.
Oh,
Oh wait, Doctor, the flying things.
Yeah, I found one.
escape combat? I didn't want to escape it.
Like, I don't even know what murdering these
That was
towers
funny.
does, but it is kind of fun, right? But I don't know what it
Yeah.
does.
It's a generator. We just exploded.
Jesus fucking thanks, that hurt me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it would. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it when you were that close. I'm
Wow.
That was a loud ass bang as well. Also, you know,
And
we're
that's how we
running
like our bangs. Loud AF.
we're running
That was on
straight to the,
purpose. That was
yeah,
on purpose, wasn't it?
What?
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 We're running straight to the,
You missed.
No,
If you
I
were
was
aiming at
actually...
me, you missed.
No, I was aiming for the tower thing.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, good
Sure
guy?
you did. Sure you did.
Also,
Well,
Betsy,
I lost my bike, so
I was
I'm
about to say,
on-
you went over to get a bike. Really wanted it. Now you have no.
because someone was saying that he was in trouble. So then you drop your bike.
There is 3 more straight ahead.
3 more what? Uggos?
No,
Poopies.
yep, the ones we used fought. There's like 3 more straight ahead of me.
Why can't I see them? There!
And I hear loud walking on my right.
I found beredskapsförråd 120.
Nice. Hello, Uggos. These just look scary. They're really slow
Yeah.
and easy to
Ouchies.
kill.
The fuck? Ow!
Why did you say ow? What did you do?
I was shooting the guys you were shooting at from up here, and then more
You're
people
getting
were coming at
shot
me.
Yeah, I see that. Wow!
Oh fuck, there's more here.
Why are you staying down there then? Oh, Senorita, you're so nice.
Nope. False. False.
Oh.
False.
4 more. 5 more? Jesus. There are a few of them.
Point tick.
I got big boys here.
Get big boys. Itty bitty boys.
Very big boy over there too.
So that's what dumping was. Actually.
Yes, yes. You have a very big boy by you.
I have, or
No. No. Good guy has.
Oh, there he is.
I have the usual suspects just attacking me
Usual
right now.
suspects.
Not the usual slow but fun one.
Sillavik dumping station.
What was its name?
Sillavik.
Hillavik.
Sillavik.
Hillavik.
You guys want to go
There's
against
the
the
big boy
big boy?
here.
Duck?
He's 30.
I'm busy not trying to not die right now, so
You're trying to not die?
I'm trying to not
I
die.
already just once today.
Hi, Biggins. I want to see your ass.
I want to see your ass.
Oh, that's a good, but don't.
Let's see. Watch out.
Let me get another one on you. No, he died. He dead.
Nope. Perfect. Let me see if we can find a 50 cal ammo on him.
Oh,
Might be dead.
damn. I just hurt myself real bad.
In game or real life?
Oh, he's
He's
not
not
dead.
dead?
He's not dead.
Is it? You sure?
I mean, I cannot
Oh,
loot
no.
him. And he's... Yep, he's not dead.
That's
I
interesting.
think.
Stay away.
Or is he? Tick?
Oh.
Can you move the fuck out my way? Where the fuck you go? Stupid bitch. Come on.
No, I think he's dead.
Well, for some reason you cannot loot him.
No, I know. I noticed. Why is there gas everywhere? Yeah, Senorita's still shooting at him too, so he could
Which
be
means
still alive.
he might not be dead.
There! I got him. He's not lighting up anymore.
But you can still not loot him.
Well, let's leave him for a bit, see if he gets up so we can
Yep.
kill him properly.
Let me
Where's
see
the
where
gas? Where's the gas coming from?
I missed that by miles. God dang.
Has to be like a robot or something shooting the gas.
Yeah, this dude does not want to die. He's alive. He turned back on. What the fuck is your issue, dude?
Well, I'm sorry.
Hi. Good guy? Keep away. Meow.
I think it's broke.
Meow.
I think it's bugged.
Yeah, I think he's bugged too. Because
There's
he
another
is
big boy up here. There was
another big boy?
There was. He's
Oh,
dead.
oh shit! I'm stuck inside him. There we go.
Jaktmaskin evolved to level 3.
Yeah, that's the one further
Bird.
down.
Yeah.
Birdie.
Basically running straight into.
Yeah, this
Birdie,
guy should be
birdie.
dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been.
Holy
Wait,
shit,
sorry.
I was looting him. I looted him just now.
What? Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
I can't. The fuck?
Me neither.
He
Well
walked
then,
up to the side of the body.
The fuck you think we've been doing?
yeah, no.
What?
I'm not
Really?
getting that loot.
I'm spamming E and nothing is happening.
That kind of sucks. I found a 5-crown submachine gun.
You
Oh,
bitch.
fuck you.
You bitch. Like, I'm
look
literally
at
running
this
around on the side of
view.
him, spamming E, and nothing is happening.
I mean, thanks for the loot.
Bitch, you did nothing.
What do you mean? I was here, moral support.
You weren't even close. You had your own battle.
Wow.
Weird thing is, it's still saying me that he's alive. I still got the enemies in your location.
That is
Indicator
weird.
was on for
Oh.
me too. Oh my god,
That's
Technobuddy.
my
How
Professor
was-
Technobody.
Professor Technobuddy is so strong, like what?
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
That's just
museum. What?
This is BS.
Yep.
It
I
is
wanted that
kind of
loot.
BS, yeah.
Well, fuck it.
Oh fuck this, fuck that guy.
Alright, are you ready
Oh.
to take on the next rival?
Yeah.
Jaktmaskinen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
Jackmo?
how-
We're
No,
here.
Phoenix
Yeah.
Base. I stopped. Call it
You have not
in control
by-
point.
You haven't by
Phoenix
accident
Base?
picked up any 50 cal bullets, right? Because I am full on out.
I can look. Wait, let's see if I have any 50s. I got none. Sorry.
Damn it. I'm full on out right now. And this gun is good.
That's what you get when you use it.
Wait, do I have?
Wow. Wow.
No, I don't have any
My
50
cats
cal
are
either.
acting like they
Damn it.
are dying. I never feed my cats. My pussies are dying.
Definitely did not feed them treats.
Oh, they have been getting treats. Believe me.
Oh shit, I forgot. I need to go in like 30 minutes, I think.
How dare
I
you?
need to leave too because I'm getting nauseous because I'm so hot right now.
He's so
Oh,
hot.
that
Okay.
sucks. You're so high. Oh my gosh.
You know, it's the life. I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy trying to get him to fuck me. Why not?
That's a good Lola, man. That's a really good Lola.
Right?
Bestie, I somehow already wasted all your first aid kits. I have one left.
You know, they give you quite a lot when you use them, so be more sparing. Just sparingly. Use them more sparingly. I can't talk.
Definitely did not take fall damage as soon as after I healed up to 100.
You always gotta heal up to 100.
Destroy Phoenix new base.
Kollebyken.
The fuck?
Let's
Who was
start
that?
with a bang.
Who was that?
That was me.
Okay,
think?
asshole.
I wanted it to just say hello to
Just wanted
To the
to say
base.
hello.
make sure they know where
Oh
I am.
Jesus! There's like anti.
There we go. I found a way in.
How did you?
Or did you
What's the way in?
Made
I
way
made a way in. Hey, Iskling! My hype man.
Oh, that's
is
mine.
Here. My hype man has arrived.
Nice.
but there's mines everywhere.
I heard you, Hunter.
Are you playing once you?
Zero, Generation Zero. There we go. There's I
Generation
think
Zero.
that's another one.
I heard him.
Ouchies.
Oh, man, you're lagging.
Oh shit! You can actually
I
blast
hear him.
the doors and everything.
Ow.
Is it just
I found a way in.
This is what mine looks like.
No, I mean like you're lagging on that.
Oh, I don't know. No one has told me in my chat if I'm lagging or not, so I have just left it.
Correct. I mean, it's what?
Well then. Oh shit! It's a tower!
I should
It's a tower! I hate these towers. Oh
I
my
love
god, I
this
almost
game.
killed myself.
I love this game so much.
Ow.
I almost killed myself. That was so bad.
I almost
No.
got killed.
Not too bad.
What is?
You're right by the tower.
Ah, fair enough.
Good guy, that's why.
Blocked by shield.
Oh damn it, I missed. Oh well, fuck it.
This is really fun.
That one's down. Good job. Okay. Good job.
Thank you. Come on, I need a 50 cal. No one has a 50 cal?
Ooh.
What's this BS?
Hello
I need a-
inside.
Guys, my food has arrived, so I think I'm gonna. Woo! Shit,
You're gonna
that's
leave?
another tower. Yeah, I would
That's
like to.
okay.
leave.
Yeah, I think I'm also gonna go. And then. And also, you can leave and take care of the wifey.
I will not. No, I will, probably.
Yeah, good.
Most likely.
No, you should.
So
Yeah, you
this
will.
was fun.
Right? So much
You can do
fun.
it more.
Yes. Yes. Now that the multiplayer thing is working so much better than before, of course
Right.
we are. And for the few of you who are still watching me, thank you for joining. You are amazing, and I'll
Oh,
see you when I see you.
Jesus fucking
Bye.
Christ in hell. Bye, bestie. Ah, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
You could have. Actually, what I that you can do in real life.
What?
Gungan,
Oh, okay. There you go.
you can like push them around and twist them. I cannot speak English.
You cannot speak English, obviously.
I could when you were my teacher, but not anymore.
Oh my gosh. Your new teacher's bad?
I don't
No
even
way.
have. I don't even have a teacher.
Oh my gosh, it's true. Ah, fuck me!
I mean, if you insist.
Don't go in there.
Why? Why should I go in there? Hello?
Oh, come on. This is really, really tough, actually. There we go, that's one.
Am I doing this right?
Ah, fuck!
Ooh, 4-8 scope. Thank you for that one.
There we go.
Assault rifle silencer and a shotgun.
Where are you finding all these cool things?
Huh?
Oh, right, in here.
For a 1 round, this shotgun is actually dealing
Oh, come on.
Freak.
Wait, watch out. I'm gonna shoot it.
Oh fuck. Go ahead.
There we go. It's much
And now
easier.
and go ahead with your rocket launcher there again.
Wait.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I was not expecting that.
No, me neither.
Need to use an invent.
Hold to enter? What the fuck?
The fuck?
I
Where the
entered the
fuck did
inside
you
of
go?
it.
Oh. I'm on my way. I don't want to be alone.
Holy shit. What is this?
Ooh.
The Reaper. Oh, you can locate things.
Oh, I'm gonna get out of here because I can reject shit in here.
Ah, cool.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do now.
Destroy it. That's the only. I mean, it's glowing red, so I don't know if that's working or it still has the shield.
No, like when it's glowing red, it definitely has like a shield or something. Oh Jesus
Something
fucking
small
Christ.
shooting.
Yeah. What's falling down is the dogs, the runners. So you can shoot the runners. Yeah, that was the entrance.
Ooh, that hurts.
Right? Don't want to stand too close to it. Wait, is it? Alright, so you shoot a little bit and then it gets a shield.
Ow, ow, that hurts, that hurts.
Watch out, Professor Techno
Oh, you
Buddy.
see the HP on the left.
Oh yeah, right, that's true. Yeah, it's
Whenever
not taking any
it's,
damage when
no,
the shield
no.
is up.
Yeah, when it's red, it takes damage.
Oh,
When it's red, it doesn't take
Jesus.
damage. But that deals a lot of damage.
Sure does, buddy.
Come on. Oh. Did it spawning. Did some spawning right in front of my face.
Fucking hell. No, I'm dead. Holy shit.
You're dead?
Wait, revive, never mind.
Revive yourself?
Yeah, I have adrenaline shots.
Good, good.
Well, that's the first time I've died in this game, I think, as well. Whoop. That's that. Ouchie.
Come on. There we go.
Nice.
Got it.
Fucking nice. Holy shit.
Perfect. Best missed it.
Oh my god. Inspect. Claim control point. We don't have enough points for it.
Dang it.
That's insane, bro.
Hey, we got it.
We got it. And we got
Shit.
a ton of loot for it as well, which is really nice.
But I still have no 50 cal ammo. I find everything else except 50 cal.
I think you can make 50 cal ammo in the base. Maybe I can.
Oh, we can.
Alright.
Hey, why pushing me? Well, we did what we couldn't do right now, so how
Right.
about, thanks for today.
Thanks yous.
Thank
Bye bye,
yous.
good guy.
Bye bye.
Oh my gosh. And dear viewers, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I don't think we're gonna raid out now. We're just gonna end the stream. It was fun. I'll see you not tomorrow actually. I'll see you next week.